After more than 10 years on air, Attack on Titan has finally come to an end with one of the most intense and emotional finales in anime history. From its shocking twists to its thought-provoking themes, this series has captured the hearts of millions of fans around the world. But even if you've watched every single episode, there are probably a ton of details you didn't notice. So today, we're diving into 40 small but fascinating facts and secrets from Attack on Titan that you probably missed. Let's get started. Levi is known as humanity's strongest soldier, but did you know that one of his life goals wasn't just killing Titans, it was actually to open a tea shop? It's a completely different path from what we saw in the series, but honestly, it's not hard to imagine him running a quiet little shop. What kind of tea do you think Levi would serve? Now, let's talk about Mikasa's name. The direct translation of Mikasa is 3 bamboo hats, but there's a deeper meaning to Mikasa is also the name of a famous Japanese battleship built in the late 1890s. Creator Hajime Izayama once said he believed that naming female characters after warships would bring success to the series. Weird logic, but in this case, it definitely worked. Speaking of Mikasa, her character design is one of the most praised in the anime world. But where did Izayama get the inspiration? In the official character encyclopedia, he revealed that he based her design on a woman he met while working part-time before becoming a manga artist. Mikasa's scarf, hairstyle, eyes, and even eyebrows came directly from this woman. Because of her, Mikasa also became part Asian, unlike most of the cast. Let's move on to Erwin Smith, one of the most iconic commanders in anime. Surprisingly, his character wasn't originally as deep as we know him today. Izayama admitted that Erwin didn't click in his mind until he wrote Erwin's reaction to discovering that Titans were actually transformed humans. That single moment gave Izayama the full sense of who Erwin was, and here's a funny detail. One of Erwin's most noticeable traits is his huge eyebrows. In fact, as a child, his nickname was literally Eyebrow, not exactly flattering, but at least none of his soldiers dared call him that. Still, it would have been hilarious if Levi had. We all know how much Levi enjoys nicknames. Speaking of names, Izayama picked Armin Arlert's name for a very unusual reason. He said he liked it because it reminded him of the English word aluminum. Also, he thought it was easier to remember, since both Armin and Arlert start with the same letter. Strange logic, but it stuck. Armin's Titan form also has a cool origin. Its physique was loosely based on Yoshin Okami, a Japanese mixed martial artist. Izayama said Okami's body represented the ideal middleweight physique. Meanwhile, Eren's Titan fighting style was inspired by another fighter, Taka Norigomi. Did you know that originally, Izayama planned for Eren to know about his Titan powers right from the start? This idea was later scrapped. His editor revealed it in a 2013 interview. And here's another shocking reveal from the same interview. Izayama originally intended to kill Sasha in chapter 36, but his editor, Shintaro Kawakubo, was so upset he literally went to the bathroom and cried. Because of that, Izayama spared Sasha's life. So yes, we can all thank Kawakubo-sensei for saving her. Speaking of Sasha, her name also has a funny backstory. She was named after comedian Sacha Baron Cohen, famous for playing Vera. Izayama gave her the name to emphasize her role as comic relief. Before we met Peak, Izayama had another plan for the Card Titan inheritor. He first imagined them as a middle-aged man named Oliver Peak. Eventually, he changed his mind and redesigned the character as a young woman. Honestly, we're all glad he did. Kenny Ackerman is one of the scariest characters in the series, and you probably guessed he was based partly on Jack the Ripper. But here's the wild part. He was also inspired by Trevor Phillips, the chaotic character from Grand Theft Auto V. If you think about it, the resemblance is pretty obvious. Annie Lenhart's hairstyle? That was based on a paparazzi photo of Canadian singer Avril Lavigne. Yes, you heard that right. Hange Zoe is another fan favorite, known for her eccentric personality. But here's one of her strangest quirks. She apparently doesn't bathe as much as she should. Levi even knocked her out and forced her to bathe at least once. Typical Levi, Marco may have died early in the series, but in November 2020, Izayama gave fans a gift by sketching what Marco would have looked like if he had lived through the time skip. The result, he kind of looks like Porco, but with freckles, who is Izayama's favorite character. At first, it was Zhang, but after developing Reiner more deeply, Reiner became his new favorite. In fact, some fans even joke that Reiner is Izayama's son because of how much he protected him in the story. Levi's personal life is full of little details too. Did you know he suffers from insomnia and usually only sleeps 2 or 3 hours a night? It's unclear if this comes from his traumatic childhood, the stress of his job, or just natural insomnia. Either way, it explains his grumpy personality. And here's a fun crossover you might not know about. There's actually a Marvel X Attack on Titan comic called Attack on Avengers. In it, Titans invade New York, and the Avengers team up to fight them. In the finale's post-credit scene, we see many people visiting Eren and Mikasa's graves. Among them was an old man that fans believe is Armin. Why? Because as kids, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin used to race to the tree on the hill, and Armin was always the last one to arrive. The ending might be symbolizing that even in death, Eren and Mikasa left Armin behind, just like when they were children. Speaking of voice actors, did you know that Hange and Kenny's voice actors Romy Park and Kazuhiro Yamaji got married in real life in 2020? Pretty wild connection. Here's another fun fact. At first, Izayama thought about merging Armin and Zhang into one character. Imagine how different the story would have been. Falco's character was inspired by Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. Izayama didn't explain exactly why, but fans have made plenty of theories. Erwin stayed single his whole life, partly because he didn't know if he'd survive. He and Niall actually loved the same woman, Marie, when they were younger. Niall chose the safer life in the military police to be with her, while Erwin devoted himself fully to the Survey Corps. Now here's something surprising. The character Izayama relates to the most isn't Eren, it's actually Dawes. He said it's because he doesn't see himself as special and feels like a background character who would win an arm wrestling contest in the 104th Training Corps. According to the encyclopedia, it would be Mikasa. Not shocking at all. Normally, Izayama designed characters as humans first, then imagined their Titan forms. But Bertold was the exception. He designed the Colossal Titan first, then it worked backwards. The anime finale also fixed a controversial moment from the manga. In the manga, Armin thanked Eren for committing mass murder. Many fans hated this, since it made it seem like Eren was being praised for his crimes. In the anime, Armin's thank you is different. He thanks Eren for showing him the world beyond the walls, not for killing people. That small change made the ending much more meaningful. Animator Arifumi Amai revealed that the Levi vs. Beast Titan scene took him for months to complete, 1 month for storyboarding and 3 months to animate. And it shows, because that scene is absolutely breathtaking. Here's a darkly funny fact. Marco's birthday is June 16th, which is exactly halfway through the year. Fittingly, when he died, only half his body was found. In early sketches, Hang's name was originally Hanako Yamada, while Mikasa's was Taro Yamada. Since Yamada is a super common surname in Japan, it may not mean much, but some believe Izayama might have planned to connect the two as family. If you zoom in during Mikasa's final scene by Eren's grave, you can spot a silver ring on her left hand. This suggests she married at some point. Many fans think her husband was Zhang, though it's never officially confirmed. Among the 104th trainees, who killed the most Titans in human form? Not Eren. He technically only killed 1 Titan as a human. The answer is Mikasa, who holds the highest kill count. Connie is a fan favorite now, but he almost didn't exist. Izayama admitted Connie was originally just a filler character to round out the top 10 trainees. Here's a fun coincidence. Falco and Mikasa actually share the same birthday, February 10th. Levi's obsession with cleanliness also has a tragic backstory. As a child, he lived in filthy underground slums with his sick mother. After she died, his hatred for dirt became tied to his trauma. That's why he can't stand dirty environments. Izayama even promised to tell Levi's backstory in detail, and it's officially coming in April 2024 in a release called Bad Boy. According to Levi, the best cleaner in his squad was actually Eren. At least Levi had one thing he didn't yell at him for. Another small fact: Levi cuts his own hair with clippers. No fancy barbers for him. Attack on Titan is famous for its foreshadowing, and here's one example. In the second ending theme of Season 1, Mikasa is shown next to a praying mantis. Later in her childhood flashback, she stares at one. Female mantises are known for decapitating their mates. Yeah, that symbolism is pretty clear. Hajime Izayama truly packed his story with hidden gems and small details, and it's no wonder Attack on Titan has become one of the greatest anime of all time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these details, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and click here to check out my other Attack on Titan videos.